The stars burned brightly over Earth, but beneath their light, the world was no longer free. The great Xerinthian Empire had come, and with it, fear and power. Their ships filled the skies, huge and shining like giant moons. The people of Earth watched in silence, helpless against the alien might. Queen Veilzura ruled the Xerinthians. She was tall and strong, with skin the color of deep purple twilight. Her eyes glowed with power, and her voice was sharp like a sword. She had conquered many worlds, but Earth was different. It was the last prize in her grand plan. The Xerinthian army crushed Earth's defenses quickly. Human soldiers fought bravely, but their weapons were weak against the aliens' technology. Cities fell one by one, and soon the world was under the Empire's control. Still, the Queen did not destroy the humans. She had other plans. In her great palace, built from shining metal and glowing crystals, Queen Veilzura sat on her throne. Around her were alien nobles, waiting for her orders. She was proud and cold. To her, humans were weak and simple, meant only to serve. Among the many captured humans was a quiet young man named Aaron Vale. He had been a soldier once, but now he was just a guard, assigned to watch the palace halls. Aaron was shy and small compared to the tall aliens, but he had a calm strength inside him. He did not complain or beg. He did his job without fear. The Queen noticed him during a meeting. He stood near the door, watching everything quietly. Most humans looked scared or angry, but Aaron only watched. His eyes were honest and steady. For reasons she did not understand, this small, shy man caught her attention. "Bring him to me," Veilzura commanded. The guards brought Aaron before the Queen. He bowed deeply, unsure what she wanted. She looked at him with curiosity. "You are different from the others," she said, her voice cold but interested. "Most humans crawl and cry, but you stand tall. Why?" Aaron was nervous but spoke simply. "I do what I must to survive, my queen." Veilzura smiled for the first time, a slow, strange smile. She decided to test him. "You will be one of my personal guards. Watch me closely." Aaron's heart pounded. Serving the Queen was dangerous. Many humans in her court were spies or slaves, but he did not refuse. In the days that followed, Aaron walked the palace halls beside the Queen. He saw her anger, her pride, and her loneliness, and Veilzura saw something she never expected, a human who was not afraid. The great Xerinthian Empire had won Earth, but the story was just beginning. After Aaron was made one of Queen Veilzura's personal guards, life in the palace changed for him. The halls were full of strange sounds, alien voices, the clanking of armor, and whispers from nobles who watched him carefully. They did not like a human so close to the Queen. Veilzura was proud and strong. She ruled with a sharp mind and a sharp tongue. She expected her guards to be fearless and clever. Aaron was neither. He was shy and quiet, but he was always there, standing steady, never afraid to do his duty. At first, the Queen tried to test him. She spoke to him coldly, even rudely. "Tell me, human, why do you not bow your head more? Are you too proud or too afraid?" she asked one day. Aaron looked down and replied softly, "I bow to my duty, not to pride or fear." The Queen's violet eyes flashed with surprise. No other human had answered like this. Most would have begged or whispered lies to stay alive. Aaron spoke the truth. Days passed, and Veilzura watched him closely. He did not follow the usual ways. He did not try to impress or flatter. Instead, he was honest, simple, and kind in his own quiet way. She could not understand why this small human felt so strong. One evening, as the stars shone outside the palace windows, Veilzura sat alone in her chambers. Aaron stood by the door, waiting quietly. "You are different from others," she said. "Tell me, why do you not fear me? I am your queen." Aaron looked at her with his honest eyes and said, "I respect strength, not power. Fear is easy. Respect is earned." The queen smiled, a strange feeling growing inside her. No one had ever spoken like this to her. Most only bowed or ran away. But Aaron stayed. His calm words made her think about things she never had time to think. In the following days, Veil-Zura began to ask Aaron questions about Earth, about humans, about life outside the palace. Aaron told her stories of his home, of oceans, mountains, and people who worked hard to build a better life. Veil-Zura listened, surprised by the hope and courage in his words. She started to see humans not as weak creatures, but as something more. The palace guards noticed the change. The queen, once cold and proud, sometimes smiled when she was with Aaron. Some nobles whispered that she was losing her mind. But Veil-Zura did not care. For the first time, she felt curious and alive. And Aaron, the shy human guard, was the cause. Though their worlds were different, a quiet bond was growing. A bond that would change everything. The palace was full of whispers. The alien nobles looked at Aaron with suspicion. How could a shy human, weak and small, stand so close to Queen Veil-Zura? They did not like it. Many hated the idea that their queen spent time with a mere human guard. Veil-Zura, however, did not care about their opinions. She found herself looking forward to Aaron's quiet presence. It was strange. She, the great queen, felt something new. Curiosity mixed with something softer, interest. One afternoon, in the great hall of the palace, Veil-Zura spoke to Aaron in her usual sharp voice. "Human, why do you not show fear when others tremble before me?" Aaron met her gaze and said quietly, "Fear does not protect me. Respect does, and respect comes from truth." Veil-Zura blinked. No one spoke like that to her. She found herself smiling, a small, reluctant smile. Days turned into weeks, and Aaron stayed near her side. He did not flatter her, but he did not insult her either. He simply was himself, a shy, honest human. The queen's anger, pride, and coldness began to melt like ice under the warm sun. Aaron's gentle strength made her question many things. Was she truly alone? Was power everything? One evening, the palace was quiet. Veil-Zura and Aaron stood on a balcony, watching the stars twinkle above the alien city. The queen spoke softly. "You are strange, human. Why do you not fear me?" Aaron looked up at the stars. "Because fear is easy. It hides weakness. I want to be strong, even if I am small." Veil-Zura listened. She had never heard such simple honesty. Her heart, which she had kept locked tight for centuries, felt a crack. But it was not just the queen who noticed the change. The palace guards began to watch Aaron with new eyes. Some admired his courage. Others feared what his presence meant. One day, a rude noble approached Veil-Zura. "Your Majesty, this human is dangerous. He is not like us. You should not trust him." Veil-Zura's eyes flashed. "He serves me well. That is enough." The noble bowed his head, but the warning remained. Danger was coming, not from Aaron, but from those who hated him. Despite the risks, the queen chose to spend more time with Aaron. She asked him about Earth, about life beyond the empire. Aaron spoke softly, but with hope, telling stories of people who fought not just with weapons, but with courage and heart. Veil-Zura felt something new, admiration, not for power, but for humanity itself. The ice around her heart was melting. The arrogant queen was beginning to understand something important. Sometimes strength comes from the most unexpected places. And Aaron, the shy human guard, was the reason. Days passed, and Queen Veil-Zura found herself drawn to Aaron more and more. What began as curiosity had slowly changed into something deeper, something she did not understand but could not ignore. She was the proud queen of the Zarinthian Empire, used to power and control. Yet the shy human guard with honest eyes made her feel something new, something like warmth. One morning, in the palace garden filled with glowing plants and strange flowers, Veil-Zura sat on a stone bench. Aaron stood nearby, quietly watching the alien birds with bright feathers. "Tell me about Earth," Veil Zura said softly. "What is it like?" Aaron smiled shyly. "Earth is full of many things, mountains that touch the sky, oceans that stretch forever, and people who never give up, even when things are hard." The queen listened carefully, her sharp eyes softening. "Your people have courage, even after being defeated." Aaron nodded. "Yes, we fight for hope, for each other. Sometimes it is not strength of arms, but strength of heart that wins." Veil Zura was silent for a moment. She had ruled many worlds with power and fear, but she had never thought about hope. Could it be stronger than her armies? Their conversations continued every day. Aaron spoke of simple things: a child's laughter, the beauty of the sunrise, the taste of rain. Veil Zura found herself wanting to hear more. His stories made her see a world she had never known. At the same time, Aaron noticed changes in the queen. Her usual cold pride was mixed with moments of quiet sadness. He wondered if she had ever been lonely before. One afternoon, as they walked through the garden, Veil Zura stopped and looked at Aaron. "You do not fear me, even though I am your queen," she said. Aaron looked down. "Fear hides who we are. I want to be honest, even if it is difficult." The queen smiled, a real smile this time. "You are brave, Aaron, more brave than many who have swords in armies." For the first time, Aaron felt proud, not just as a guard, but as a person. The queen's words were like sunlight breaking through dark clouds. However, not everyone in the palace was happy. The alien nobles whispered behind closed doors. "The queen is softening," they said. "She trusts a human. This will lead to ruin." Veil Zura ignored the gossip. She was not the same queen who crushed worlds without thought. Something inside her had changed. One evening, as the stars shone brightly, the queen and Aaron stood side by side on the palace balcony. Neither spoke, but the quiet bond between them was clear. Two different beings, an arrogant alien queen and a shy human guard, had found a connection that surprised them both. A bond built not on power or fear, but on respect and understanding. And it was only the beginning. The palace halls buzzed with quiet voices. The alien nobles whispered behind closed doors, their eyes filled with anger and suspicion. They could not believe their proud Queen Veil Zura spent time with a human. A shy, quiet human guard named Aaron. To them, it was a dangerous weakness. "Have you seen the way she looks at him?" one noble hissed. "It is madness. The queen should be above such things." Another nodded. "If she continues, the empire will fall. We must act." Word spread quickly through the palace, reaching even the ears of Veil Zura's closest advisors. They warned her to end her unusual friendship with Aaron. "You risk everything, my queen," one advisor said sharply. "The nobles will turn against you. Humans are beneath us." Veil Zura looked at him, her violet eyes burning with fierce pride. "I do not care what they think. Aaron serves me well. That is all that matters." But the danger was real. One night, as Aaron walked alone near the royal gardens, a shadow moved behind him. A poison blade flashed in the moonlight. Aaron was quick. He dodged the attack and ran toward the palace. When the queen heard what happened, she was furious. No one would harm the human who had earned her trust. "Find the traitor," she ordered. "I will not allow this to continue." Despite the threats, Veil Zura stood by Aaron openly. In a bold move that shocked the court, she declared him her personal guard in front of all nobles. "This human is loyal to me," she said. "He has earned his place by his actions, not by birth. Let none forget that." The nobles were silent, shocked by the queen's words. Some bowed reluctantly, others scowled, but no one dared oppose her openly. Aaron, shy as ever, felt the weight of the moment. He had never imagined standing beside a queen, much less being defended so fiercely. As days passed, Aaron and Veil Zura's bond grew stronger. The queen shared more with him, her fears, her hopes, and her dreams for the empire. Aaron listened carefully. He wanted to help, but he knew the court was dangerous. Enemies lurked in every shadow. One evening, Veilzura took Aaron to a secret room deep within the palace, a place where the queen kept relics from her many conquests. Among the trophies was a small human trinket Aaron had given her, a simple stone from Earth. "This means more to me than all the stars," Veilzura said softly. "You have changed me, Aaron." Aaron looked surprised. "I only did what I could." "No," she said. "You did more than that. You showed me another way." Outside, the palace walls seemed stronger, but inside, the queen's heart was softer. The arrogant ruler and the shy human guard had begun a story that would shake the very foundation of the empire. The palace was no longer safe. The alien nobles grew angry and restless. They whispered about betrayal and weakness. General Xeldrak, a powerful and ruthless leader, saw his chance. He believed Queen Veilzura's trust in a human was a mistake. He gathered his followers and planned a coup to take the throne. One cold night, Xeldrak's forces surrounded the palace. The queen and her loyal guards, including Aaron, were warned just in time. The attack was swift and deadly. Veilzura fought fiercely, her violet eyes blazing with fury. But the traitors were many. The palace halls echoed with the sounds of battle, clashing swords, blaster fire, and shouted orders. Aaron stayed close to the queen, protecting her with every breath. Though shy and quiet, he moved with surprising skill, using tactics he had learned on Earth. He helped the queen escape through secret passages that only a few knew. The royal dreadnought awaited outside, its engines humming like a living beast. Veilzura and her small group rushed aboard just as the palace fell into enemy hands. As the ship blasted into space, the queen's face was hard with anger and determination. "We will return," she vowed, "and we will take back what is ours." Aaron stood beside her, feeling the weight of the moment. The shy human guard had become more than a servant. He was now a key player in the fight for the Empire's future. In the days that followed, Veilzura and Aaron planned their next moves. They had few allies, little support, and no time to rest. Xeldrak's rebellion threatened to break the Empire apart. Aaron suggested new tactics, small, quick strikes to weaken the enemy. "We cannot fight like they do," he said. "We must be smart. Use surprise, not strength." Veilzura listened. She was used to commanding huge armies, but now she saw the power in human strategy. Clever, unpredictable, and bold. Their partnership deepened. The arrogant queen and the shy guard worked together, learning from each other. Veilzura's strength and Aaron's cunning made them a dangerous team. But enemies were everywhere. Spies, traitors, and assassins hunted them across the stars. Trust was rare, and every decision was a risk. Still, hope burned bright. The queen's love for Aaron gave her new strength, and Aaron, once shy and quiet, grew confident as he fought not just for survival, but for a future. The battle for the throne had only just begun. After escaping the palace, Queen Veilzura and Aaron found themselves in a small, hidden ship deep in space. The stars outside were cold and distant, but inside the ship, a different warmth grew, a warmth born from trust and hope. Veilzura paced the command room, her strong face shadowed with worry. The empire was crumbling, and the traitors were gaining power. Still, she refused to give up. Aaron stood quietly by the control panel, his eyes bright with determination. He was no longer the shy guard who had just watched and waited. Now he was a part of the queen's plans, a partner. "Your Majesty," Aaron said softly, "we can use the smaller ships to surprise them. They expect a big fight, but we can hit their weak spots first." Veilzura stopped pacing and looked at him. "Tell me more." Aaron explained the plan. Small, fast ships would move quickly through hidden routes, attacking supply lines and communication towers. This would weaken General Xeldrak's forces before a big battle. The queen nodded slowly. "It is risky, but it may be our only chance." As they worked late into the night, Veil Zura found herself watching Eren more closely. His quiet strength, his courage, and his clear mind amazed her. She remembered how she had once seen humans as weak and simple. Now she knew better. Days passed, and their small fleet began to strike. Surprise attacks hit enemy ships and bases. The traders were confused and angry. They did not expect the Queen to fight back so cleverly. In one battle, Eren led a team that destroyed an important supply ship. His careful planning and quick thinking saved many lives. Veil Zura smiled proudly. The shy human guard had become a hero. But the fight was not just against enemies outside. Inside the ship, feelings between Veil Zura and Eren grew stronger. The Queen, once cold and proud, found herself sharing her thoughts and dreams with him. Eren, shy but honest, felt a deep respect and something more for the Queen. One evening, as the stars shone brightly, they stood side by side looking out at the galaxy. "Why do you stay with me?" Veil Zura asked quietly. "I am not easy to serve." Eren looked at her and said, "Because you are more than a queen. You are a person, and I want to help you be the best you can be." Veil Zura's eyes softened. "You have changed me, Eren. I never expected a human to do that." Their bond grew stronger, but so did the danger. General Xeldrak was angry and desperate. He would stop at nothing to crush the Queen and her human guard. The battle for the Empire was far from over. But together, they were ready to fight, not just for power, but for something more: trust, hope, and maybe even love. The small ship rocked gently as it drifted through the vast darkness of space. Inside, Queen Veil Zura and Eren worked side by side, planning their next move against General Xeldrak's rebellion. But the fight outside was not the only battle they faced. There were secrets and fears hidden deep inside the hearts of both. One evening, after a long day of strategy, Eren spoke softly. "There is something I must tell you, Your Majesty." Veil Zura stopped and looked at him, her eyes full of curiosity. Eren took a deep breath. "Before the Empire took Earth, I had a family. I lost them during the first attacks. I have carried their memory with me." The Queen's expression softened. "You have suffered much." Eren nodded. "That is why I fight. Not just for you, but for those who cannot fight for themselves." Veil Zura placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your strength comes from your heart. It is different from any strength I have known." That night, a quiet understanding grew between them. The Queen realized that behind Eren's shy smile was a brave soul who had faced loss and pain, but still believed in hope. But danger was never far. General Xeldrak's forces had discovered one of their secret bases. The attack came suddenly, with fire and smoke filling the halls. Alarms blared as the small fleet scrambled to defend. Eren stood with the Queen on the bridge, watching the enemy ships approach. "We must protect the people who trust us," he said firmly. Veil Zura nodded. "We will fight, even if it costs everything." The battle was fierce. Laser beams cut through space, and explosions shook the ship. Eren led a team to repair the damaged shields, while Veil Zura commanded the main ship's defenses. Together, they worked as one. In the end, they survived the attack, but not without cost. Some ships were lost, and many loyal soldiers were injured. After the battle, Veil Zura walked to Eren's side. "You risked your life for me and the Empire," she said quietly. Eren smiled tiredly. "It is my duty, and my honor." That night, under the soft glow of the stars, Veil Zura and Eren shared a rare moment of peace. The Queen, once arrogant and cold, now showed a gentle side. Eren, once shy and silent, was becoming a leader. They both knew the road ahead was dangerous and uncertain. But together, they had found strength in each other, a strength born from secrets, sacrifices, and trust. The Empire might be broken, but the Queen and her guard were ready to rebuild, no matter the cost. The battle for the Empire was reaching a new stage. Queen Veil Zura and Eren had survived attacks, betrayed by those they once trusted. But the greatest challenge was still ahead. One morning, the queen stood on the bridge of their ship, looking at the stars. Her violet eyes were sharp and focused. Aaron stood beside her, quiet but ready. "Your Majesty," Aaron said softly, "I have learned something important." Veil-Zura turned to him. "What is it?" Aaron explained. "General Zeldrak plans to take the capital planet. If he succeeds, the Empire will fall forever." The queen's face hardened. "Then we must stop him." They made a plan. Veil-Zura would lead a direct attack on Zeldrak's forces, while Aaron would sneak into the capital to gather information and help loyalists inside. The mission was dangerous, but they both knew it was necessary. Aaron's small team landed on the capital planet under the cover of night. The city was tense, filled with soldiers loyal to Zeldrak. Aaron moved carefully, using his human skills of stealth and patience. He found a group of rebels who still supported the queen. They welcomed him quietly, hoping for a chance to fight back. Meanwhile, Veil-Zura's fleet attacked from space. Explosions lit the dark skies as battleships clashed. The queen's fierce command inspired her loyal soldiers, but the fight was hard. Back on the ground, Aaron and the rebels worked to sabotage enemy communications. They faced dangers at every turn, but moved with courage and care. One night, as Aaron crept through the city, he was almost caught by enemy patrols. His heart pounded, but he stayed calm and escaped. The queen's attack slowed the enemy, giving Aaron's team a chance to strike important targets. The capital was shaking with conflict. In a secret meeting, the rebels told Aaron about a hidden weapon that could change everything, a device that could disable the enemy ships. Veil-Zura and Aaron knew this was their chance. If they could get the weapon, they could end the war. Aaron risked everything to find the device. With the rebels' help, he sneaked into the enemy's stronghold and took it. The queen's fleet waited anxiously in orbit. When Aaron sent the signal, the weapon activated. Enemy ships lost power, drifting helplessly in space. Veil-Zura seized the moment. Her forces attacked with full strength, pushing Zeldrak's rebels back. The tide of battle had turned. Aaron returned to the ship, tired but proud. Veil-Zura met him with a rare smile. "You did well," she said simply. Aaron nodded. "We did it together." In that moment, the queen and her guard realized something important. The Empire was more than power and control. It was about trust, bravery, and the unexpected strength of a shy human. The war was far from over, but the turning point had come. The battle was over, but the future was uncertain. Queen Veil-Zura stood on the bridge of her ship, looking out at the stars. The capital planet was free again, but the Empire had been changed forever. Aaron stood beside her, quiet but strong. They had fought side by side through danger and betrayal. Now they faced a new challenge, building a better future. The queen's violet eyes softened as she looked at Aaron. "You changed everything," she said. "Not just the Empire, but me." Aaron smiled shyly. "I only did what I could. You taught me to be brave." Veil-Zura reached out and took his hand. It was a small gesture, but it meant more than words. The proud queen and the shy human guard had become more than allies. They had become something rare and beautiful. Together, they returned to the capital planet. The people cheered their queen, but Veil-Zura knew the real work had just begun. She would have to rebuild trust, heal old wounds, and unite a broken empire. Aaron walked with her through the city streets. People looked at him with surprise and respect. He was no longer just a guard. He was a symbol of hope and change. The queen held a council with her loyal leaders. She spoke about fairness, justice, and working together with all species in the empire. Some listened with hope, others with doubt. "We cannot rule with fear anymore," she said. "We must lead with courage and heart." Aaron stood beside her, ready to help. He had come from a world where ordinary people could change history. Now he believed the same was true here. But not everyone accepted the new way. Some nobles still whispered in shadows, angry at the queen's choices. Velzura was not afraid. "Change is never easy," she said, "but it is necessary." Days turned into months. The empire slowly began to heal. Alliances were formed, old enemies became friends, and hope grew stronger. Aaron and Velzura often met in the palace gardens, where their story had begun. Their bond was unbreakable, a reminder that love and trust could come from the most unexpected places. One evening, under the shining stars, Velzura smiled and said, "I never thought I would find this: peace, friendship, and love." Aaron looked at her and replied, "Neither did I, but I am glad we did." The arrogant alien queen and the shy human guard had changed not just their own lives, but the fate of an empire. Together, they stepped into a new future, one filled with promise, hope, and the power of two hearts united.